Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry, it's been a little bit. I know. I know it's been a bit since the last Wednesday video, but I've been a little busy. So today, I'm going to be explaining imbuements in combat initiation, because imbuements can be really strong, but a lot of people don't understand it. So I'm going to be doing a at least slightly in-depth guide on imbuements today. So I will see y'all in Sandbox. Woohoo! Alright, to get started, I'm gonna grab some of the weapons. So, as for gear, or not gear, but the accessories, I'm gonna be using electric punk. I'll explain why in a minute here. Alright, so, y'all either just like watching my content, or you came here to learn about imbuements. Imbuements are when you stack an effect onto a item or weapon. So, for example, I just gave the subspace trip mine fire from the firebrand. Or how you can give a sentry fire, and this will buff the damage or give it special effects. For example, when the trip mine blows up, it'll inflict fire. And the sentry slowly the fire it makes it take damage over time, but it also inflicts fire and has increased damage. A common trend with any imbuement is that it increases damage and it adds a special effect. And there's a wide variety. So as you just saw, the first one is fire. This can be achieved in multiple different ways. One of them can be with the flamethrower. So the next imbuement is ice, which you can get from the ice gun. Whoops. Just gonna... The ice imbuement, when it blows up, it'll have ice shrapnel and will freeze enemies. Let me just spawn, I guess, a giant, for example. It'll freeze the giant and do extra damage compared to a normal subspace strip mine. Here. See? And like I said, the fire one, if the giant didn't die, will set the giant on fire, dealing tick damage. Those are the most common ones which you might have already heard of. Now, the next one is dual vitality, which you can get by either using the kunai from the shurikens or hitting something with a wrench. What dual vitality does is when it blows up, it's basically a metallic reaction. Now, I'm gonna need something to trigger the explosive, so I'm gonna use this. Dual vitality, it's pretty simple. It increases the damage, it increases the range. Nothing that special. And it has that metallic ding sound effect when it blows up. I should probably use something stronger. The giants die quickly. Let's do Jason. How about Jason, for example? So, like I said, normal bomb. Pretty simple, 1000 damage. But that does quite a bit more. Now, of course, with explosives, that you have super reaction, which will increase the damage a little bit. which happens when you blow up an explosive with another explosive. Now, if you give an item an effect and then blow it up midair, you get nuclear reaction, which also increases the damage. So nuclear reaction by doing it midair, that's a different thing you can do. Now, so we've covered the first three common ones: fire, ice, and dual vitality or metallic. Now, another one that you can get is electricity. Now, there's two ways to get lightning or electricity, whatever you want to do. You can either have the electric punk, which there's a 5% chance of imbuing with electricity when you hit something, or when a wizard dies, its corpse will imbue things with electricity to anything nearby. So, actually, I have a better idea. Let me swap over to the hammer real quick. This might make things easier. So now, your subspace strip mine will have lightning imbued to it. Let me just... Is that not going to trigger? Well, anyways, it'll have that lightning effect. Anyways, and now the next thing is you can combine fire and ice. You can imbue it with both, and you get Frostburn. Now, so Frostburn combines the effects of fire and ice together. Dealing fire tick damage and the shrapnel. And of course, increasing damage overall. So, Frostburn effects can be really strong. Now, as with those two, you can also combine dual vitality. You see how the more you add, the stronger it gets. Now, let's just say we give this fire and ice, and then we maybe smack it a bunch, right, to get lightning. It takes a little bit since it's a 5% chance. So maybe eventually, there we go. So when you get fire, ice, and lightning, you get a perfect subspace trip mine. All three together. And you get this glowing white trip mine. Which does quite a fair bit of damage. I mean, not just one shot adjacent. So, since the damage is going to keep going higher, I'm going to move over to Rocket Arena. Because that can hold, on this map, I can spawn a Draco Bloxer. Which is one of the higher health enemies in this game, and will be able to withstand more of our testing. So, let's just say we combine what I've shown so far, right? You have fire, lightning, ice, right? And I said we had dual vitality. But if you remember the other one I said, we also have nuclear reactions. By throwing it in the air, if I didn't mess it up, by launching it in the air... By shooting an imbued thing mid-air with an explosive, you get a nuclear reaction. Right? So if we combine the subspace trip mine with dual vitality and a nuke, that's your most basic hyper nuke. Doing a substantial amount of damage, being around 16,000, depending on the fire tick. And for most people, that's about as strong as one might need. Now, the one nice thing about that specific thing, so you know how I said... Yes, I know you're loud. The imbuements increase damage? Well, it also increases the range. I should turn on infinite dashes. Here we go. So you know how I said every imbuement increases damage? Well, they also increase range. So not only does this do a lot of damage, let me just get lightning, but it also increases the range significantly. To the point where it's effectively an entire map clear of range. And there's a few other things I'm going to get to in this video, but if you want the highest range, a perfect subspace straight line with dual vitality and a nuclear reaction midair is the highest range you can get out of this. Now, I'm going to go on to damage. And for that, I'm going to cover another imbuement. And that's with the Scatter Blaster. The Scatter Blaster has either what would you call Plasma or Calamity. When you have a fully charged shot, it's equivalent to an explosive, and hitting an explosive with an explosive, well, detonates it, right? So, when you take a trip mine and hit it midair, you get Calamity. Ow. Although the orb comes back at me. It likes to not show up on the side, but... What? It adds the plasma, or what you would call Calamity reaction. You can add that on top. Now, there's a different weapon that I'd like to show you. The Explosive Pinata. It has significantly less range, and it doesn't explode when it comes in near enemies, but what it does do is it goes on a timer, and after that timer goes up, it blows up. But what you can do is the more you hit it, it'll charge up the pinata, and it'll blow up multiple times. So let's just say we had that nuke, but imagine it went off multiple times. You can see how this could increase the damage. Right? So, now, here's the thing. Accessories, they give some pretty good stats, and we want damage, right? Well, imbuement is a lot, so we'll want the imbuement damage, right? And then 15 base damage, that's pretty good, right? And now, as for the last one, you could go more base damage or whatever. I'm gonna pick... Let me see here. I mean, really, it's whatever you want. And if you're trying to do this in a real one, you would probably want Electric Punk paired with Thinking Cap. Because you need a lot of weapons. You'll probably have to skip out on a few of the imbuements, but I'm just gonna pick some base damage because that's always good, right? Can't go wrong with base damage. You know something else that increases your damage? Epic Sauce. Epic Sauce, when you drink it, it increases your damage and many other small stats. So if we want the most damage, we'll want a pinata with... Hold on. First, we'll want to give it electricity. We're going to want ice. And we're going to want to charge it up. So we have effectively perfect explosive pinata, although it doesn't say that. And then we can add dual vitality, calamity, and nuclear reaction by blowing it up midair. Now, this is going to do so much damage that I think that's not going to be enough. I'm going to spawn a 10x HP Draco Bloxer. Hold on. I didn't want that one. I accidentally clicked too soon. There we go. So I'm going to spawn a 10 times HP Draco Bloxer to be able to show off the damage. Now, if you may have noticed, I forgot to drink the epic sauce when making this first one, so I'm going to dump that outside the map. So, what I needed to do was grab a wizard, epic sauce, spawn the pinata, lightning, ice, fire, dual vitality, and then plasma and nuclear reaction. I don't know if you saw that, but that said 60,000 damage. That's a lot of damage. So if you want damage, you can use this thing, but it has a smaller range, as you saw with the explosions. Or you can go for the subspace trip mine, which for normal runs, since most of the enemies are not a 10 times HP Draco Bloxer, you can take one of these and clear the entire map with it effectively. So that's going to be my basic cover of imbuements. Fire, ice, frostburn, and then with lightning, perfect, dual vitality, calamity, and nuclear reaction. We got Jason over there, Captain over there, Vagabond over there. We got King and a cannon over there. Some giants around the map, and a 10 times HP Great Draco Bloxer. We take some epic sauce, trip mine, fire and lightning, ice. Smash it together to get a perfect subspace trip mine. Whoops. Imaginary technique. Hyper nuke. Now to show you the maximum damage that you can get out of this, 10 times HP Draco Bloxer. Show you my final form, you know. I've spent a few hours trying to develop my hyper nuke. So this is the highest damage I've managed to get. You take the wizard, epic sauce, lightning, ice, fire, and then frostburn. You charge it up. Dual vitality. I don't know if you saw that. That was 98,000 damage. That's more than enough to one-shot a normal HP Draco Bloxer. Put it about here. That's maybe a little over 2 times a normal Draco Bloxer's HP. I don't know the actual stats, but close to 100,000 damage. So, you know, Not bad, not bad. Now, to show you truly the range that this thing has, I'm going to take the biggest map, which is the default sandbox map. Let's just say I don't know, lined up a few giants, right? From one end of the map all the way to the other, right? So let's just say if I blow it up on this side of the map, we should be able to see the true range. Now keep in mind that the blast goes in all directions. So if I blow it up here, that means the range would extend to however far this kills, and on the other side, and that way, and that way, and up. Now, it's time to show you the true range that these bombs are capable of. Because, you know, most of the time, you only need to kill these typical small enemies, right? Like, you don't need 100,000 damage to kill an enemy, right? What you do need is the range to kill all the smaller enemies on the map, right? For wave clear, and that's probably going to end up being more useful. And so, you can either go for the damage, which can be fun for deleting some really high HP stuff. It's pretty fun, you know. Just absolutely blasting the enemies, or you can have the range equivalent of the 2 nukes dropped on Japan. Now let me show you the kind of range that this is capable of. Only the enemies at the very far point of the map survived, which means the range of the subspace trip mine hyper nuke is from here all the way to here. And remember, blast range goes in all direction, meaning it's from here to there, from here to that equivalent distance in that direction, and in that, which is way more than the normal map. So you effectively have an entire map clear. Imaginary technique. Purple. Oh my PC! That's about it for this video. I showed you the bomb with the highest range in combat initiation and the bomb with the highest damage. So if you want to hop into Sandbox yourself, test some of this out, it's pretty fun. Or in game, either you can use it with the Shaggy accessory to get more of the weapons, or you can, in normal, you can get about a bomb and 2 weapons. So sword, ice, and bomb. Well, you would need the rocket launcher, so you can get rocket launcher, bomb, and then one of the 3. And then either you can go maybe for electricity. Really depends. I'm waiting for more of the axe to come out so you can afford more in the shop. That's definitely going to be a fun day when you can start implementing more of this in an actual game. But for now, you just have to use the Shaggy accessory and get on with most of this. Anyways, thanks y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all next Wednesday. Peace.
No, 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 no. Wait. Wait.